Hello friends, for today's video I wanted to keep you in the loop and update you about some things that are going to be happening here on this channel. And I am going to be talking about things that have to do with anime and manga, as well as things that have to do with video games, and then one thing that has to do somewhat with both, which I'll get to at the end. I'm going to kick it off with an update that's going to be coming up relatively soon, which is that myself and my friend Gavin from two different channels, Gavin Reads It All and Gavin Reads All the Manga. Similar to me, Gavin has a book channel and a manga, anime, and other kinds of stories channel, so I'll have both of those linked, but he has never watched Full Metal Alchemist. You might recall, if you watch regularly, that I mentioned I might try to get one of my friends to watch Full Metal Alchemist with me. Gavin is who I was referring to, and the plan is that Gavin and I, starting in June, are going to be watching through Full Metal Alchemist. Typically, Gavin likes to read the manga first and then jump into anime, and he's actually probably going to be doing the reverse this go around, where he's actually going to be watching the anime and then maybe in the future reading the manga and just doing compare and contrast. As noted, I'll have his channels linked, so if that sounds like something that would be fun to kind of watch his experience with Full Metal evolve, then obviously be on the lookout. But as noted, come June, we are going to be starting our watch of Full Metal Alchemist, and then we're going to be coming together probably about once every other week to do discussions for about 16 episodes at a time. If you don't know, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is the one I should clarify that we're going to be watching. It has 64 episodes, if I'm not mistaken, so we're going to be watching through in fairly large chunks, hence why they're going to be every other week, and then come together and talk about the show in those discussions. And I am so excited because I've wanted to get back into Full Metal Alchemist for so long, and I've wanted Gavin to check out Full Metal Alchemist, and so this felt like the perfect combination. We'll have somebody who's been a fan for a long time and somebody who's new to it coming together to have a discussion. And I mean, who doesn't like Full Metal Alchemist? It's just so fun and great, and it's the perfect combination of emotional and campy. It's gonna be great. I can't wait to have these discussions with Gavin. It's gonna be so fantastic. We have discussed in the past things like Witch Hat Atelier, and that actually happened on his channel. I'll have that specific video as well, and we really like to get into it, so I'm so excited. As far as video game updates, something that I really want to talk about more is Expedition 33. For those of you that are here for the anime and the manga and you do not care about video games and you're super out of the loop, this is a video game that I was so excited to play since the moment I saw the trailer, and then I have played it and I've devoured it, and now I just want to talk to everybody about it. And there are so many things that I want to talk to people about because this is a very story-driven game on top of also being a fantastic game to literally play. It's just so good as a game. But there's just so much to get into about it, and I've already filmed a couple of videos, and by the time this goes up, I'll likely have had at least a second one. I did the first impressions for that game, and by the time that I edited it and got it up, I'd already beaten the game, and not just beaten the story. For those of you that are game fans, and no, I didn't just do the story. I've done some of, if not the hardest bosses in the game. I'm trying to figure out if there's any left that I didn't know about, but yeah, I went through so much more. So first impressions came up, and then I was essentially like, by the way, I already got through it. I have a lot to say, which we'll get to soon. So point is that, well, there's a few points. I have already been making more content for that, and by the time this goes up, there will likely be a second video. There will be a third one up soon, I'm sure. And my plan is that I want to there's so many things I want to talk about with this, that I want to make sure that I have room to talk about this, but that I don't forget the anime manga and I don't have that fall behind. So I'm probably just going to up the amount that I upload 2 to 3 times a week. This is going to be pushing it for me for a number of reasons. My main channel is my main channel and the main thing I have to prioritize, so there might be the occasional week where I don't get around to having 2 or 3 uploads, and just whatever goes up is what goes up, whether it's anime manga or whether it's Expedition 33 centered. We'll see. It's just going to be a matter of what I have mapped out, what I have kind of worked through for filming then versus what I've edited, and it's not something that's going to be probably as easy to predict and something that I am able to have, oh, for sure, this is what's going to go up on this day. So it's not going to be the most certain thing, but I'll try to be relatively consistent. And I also will note that I know this is the goofiest thing to bring up, but I live in a very, very, very hot area, and we are coming up on summer, and I have to turn off my air conditioning when I film, and I also have filming lights, and so it gets very hot when I'm filming. It makes it harder to bulk film, which is my preferred way of filming. But as a result of how hot it gets, it does kind of put a limit on the times that I can record and the times that I can bulk film. So I'm hoping that I can continue to wake up very early and get things filmed very early in the morning before it's 115, 120 degrees. But there might be the occasional time where maybe a video is running really long and I don't have time to film the other stuff. And I just want to keep you in the loop that it might not be the most consistent upload schedule, but I'm going to try really, really hard to ensure that those of you that are here for anime manga content don't feel like you're being left behind in favor of game content, because I do love both forms of storytelling. I love all forms of storytelling. That's the very reason I made this entire channel, was because I don't feel like I get to talk about these things on my book channel. That said, and getting a little bit into more to do with the details involving the Expedition 33 content. So I did have a post saying I have about 10 videos mapped out already, and that I will try to up the content for the other stuff. I outlined that, but realistically it's more than 10. Some of it is stuff that I'm like, I want to talk about this now. So many of you know that as a kid, I was a huge fan of Final Fantasy X, and I shouldn't even say as a kid because I'm still a huge fan. But because I played it as a kid, and I played it at a time when like the internet wasn't what it is now, I played that game and then it was that feeling of like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And there's no one to talk about it with. Nobody understands how great this is. And you feel so isolated in your love of this work of fiction. I, as a child, did not get to talk about Final Fantasy X. And I feel like this is the time. With Expedition 33, it's like, oh my gosh, it's not just that this is an amazing game, but it's that there are so many people that are talking about it, and we actually have social media work in a way now where we can connect over it. So I feel like this experience that I didn't get to have as a kid, one of my favorite games, it's like, oh my gosh, I get to have it now about this game, and so many of us are playing it. And can you hear how excited I am about this game? I want to always ensure that the passion is what is driving things, and that I have to, of course, structure to some degree. On one hand, because I want to make things clear for all of you, but also just I like to structure things. But I also want to ensure that, as noted, that passion is what is driving the things I discuss. And I'm very passionate about a lot of what is in that game. So I want to talk about it. And likely what's going to happen is at least one video a week for a while is going to be Expedition 33 themed, if not 2 videos a week for a bit. So it might be a Monday, Fridays, Expedition 33, Wednesdays are anime manga. So it might fluctuate. It might stay like that. Maybe there's an occasional week where I can't get 2 up and it's just 1, or maybe I'll have 1 go up because the other 2, Monday and Wednesday, are actually both dedicated to anime manga. Maybe the occasional Studio Ghibli thing. That's also something I should note, which is that we do have a date scheduled for our next Studio Ghibli conversations. We had to push that one back because of some things in one of the participants' life happened, so we had to push that back. But we do have a date now, so the next 2 episodes of our Ghibli conversations should be happening in June, and then they should be coming out in the weeks following that. It will be toward the end of June, so it might be end of June, early July that we get the next installments of our video discussions for those. But anyway, I just wanted to ensure that you knew that Expedition 33 is going to be talked about a lot, but I promise that this is not turning into an Expedition 33 channel. It's probably going to be similar to when I was going through Avatar: The Last Airbender, or when I was going through Attack on Titan, where that took up a lot of the uploads, but I tried to still make sure there were other things to discuss as well. It's going to be a similar thing. Now tying in video games and manga anime. So at the end of the year, in October, I believe is the release date, because we've had a trailer, amazing looking trailer, come out for the new Ghost game. I love Ghost of Tsushima. I cannot wait for this new Ghost game. The trailer looks amazing. But some of you who maybe keep up regularly and are fans of both anime, manga, and video games might recall that I was saying I kind of wonder, because of the time difference between Ghost of Tsushima and the time that this game is meant to take place, and the fact that they were showing wolves in early sneak peeks, I was thinking, I wonder if there's going to be a time period explored that is similar to or the same as what we see in the manga/anime Golden Kamui, which I think is really fun. I have not yet completed that story, but I was really hopeful that we would explore it because it's fascinating, and I think it's a time and that specific culture is not really as explored and known for a lot of people, and I was just really looking forward to the idea of that. And then lo and behold, when the official trailer dropped, they were absolutely indicating that you are going to see the things that I was hoping we would see within this game. So I thought, I've been wanting to get back to Golden Kamui. I've been wanting to finish Golden Kamui. So it felt like it would be perfect if around that time of the year, I went through the story leading up to the new Ghost game. And then I play Ghost, and then my friends and I get to have conversations about both of these stories. So fingers crossed. My friend Patrick, I asked him if he was interested. He also has his own channel, so I have it linked. If he was interested in joining in on this, and currently he's a yes. Of course, it's later in the year, so it's always hard to predict people's schedules, and you don't know what's going to come up, but currently Patrick is on board to go through Golden Kamui and play a little bit of Ghost. My friend Enrique, also, who has popped up on various videos, he's on board, and then my husband Sean, who's actually the one that got me into Golden Kamui, is on board as well. And this was actually the crew that discussed Vagabond, and Vagabond is a really good, if you like this, try that sort of manga recommendation for Ghost of Tsushima fans. So I just feel like it's going to be really fun to have a return to this quartet and also get to go through Golden Kamui and play through Ghost. I think it's going to be so fun, and we'll try to figure out exactly the read/watch along and when potential discussions might be happening. As I said, this is quite a bit later in the year, although now I'm thinking about it, we're already basically middle of the year, so it's not that much further, but because it's a little bit in the distance, I don't want to pin anything down too much. I want to leave some room for flexibility, and then as we get closer, we will pin things down. And I'll keep you in the loop as we get closer, but I want to let you all know now, in case maybe manga's not the easiest or most accessible for you, that you can plan on trying to get those ready to read or get the anime ready to watch in preparation for all of that that's going to happen. So I think that about covers it for all the things that I wanted to update you on. This was a very casual sit down, just kind of fill you in. But anyway, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you later. Bye.